Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to have a look at Shadow of the Tomb Raider on the OneXPlayer 4800U and on the SteamDeck. So first things first, let's have a look at the resolution. On both devices we've decided to set up at 1280 by 800, so that's native resolution on the SteamDeck and half native resolution on the OneXPlayer. And we've turned on AMD Fidelity FX, so graphically they're both set up pretty much the same. In graphics settings, we have them set up as a medium preset. It says custom on the OneXPlayer, but I've just mirrored the settings on them both. So the medium preset. So I know a lot of people test on low, but I think it just looks so much nicer on the medium preset. So I'll just start off the benchmark mode on both of these just now. One of the first things you'll notice is the OneXPlayer will start the benchmark a lot quicker than the SteamDeck, and I think that must be down to the number of CPU cores available to the OneXPlayer. You know, 8 cores and 16 threads versus 4 cores and 8 threads on the SteamDeck. So software wise, the SteamDeck is running on the latest OS, so it's 3.5.2, and the OneXPlayer is running on Windows 11 22H2, and it's all patched up as of the 23rd of October. We're also running Adrenaline version 22.10.2 on the OneXPlayer, and both devices are set to about 75% brightness. So as you can see here, the SteamDeck, I have no performance setting on it, no tweaked performance settings, it's just running as fast as it can. On the OneXPlayer I have a high power saving plan, so basically we're maxing it out. We also have the turbo button turned on. In this mode we should see roughly about, probably difficult to see on the screen there, but we're using about 25 to 30 watts on the OneXPlayer, and that's just for the CPU. On the SteamDeck we're using about 27 watts. At the moment it's only about 25, but it kind of floats around 27 most of the time. And that runs pretty well on both devices, I have to say. They both look absolutely lovely. Graphically they look really good on the small screens. I will say, my personal preference, I think the OneXPlayer looks just a little bit sharper, and I think that may be down to the fact there's just a bit more screen real estate. It looks lovely on the SteamDeck, don't get me wrong. Play it on either device. So overall, in this setting, on the OneXPlayer we should see roughly about 37 FPS average, so that's high performance mode turbo on. If you use high performance mode but turbo button switched off, we should see about 33 FPS, sorry. 37 FPS on turbo enabled, 33 FPS on turbo disabled. On the SteamDeck we'll see roughly 42 FPS, so that's a win for the SteamDeck, I would say. From a playability point of view, I would say they're both very playable. The SteamDeck, you know, just sits around 40 FPS or above quite a lot of the time. The OneXPlayer, much happier in high power, turbo button off, and just sitting around about 30 FPS. Doesn't really dip below much. It will go above that quite happily. I suppose variable refresh rate on the SteamDeck, you could set that to 40 and lock in 40 FPS, and it would probably feel smoother than on the OneXPlayer. But really, for this type of game, I know most people want to see upwards of 60 FPS, but I think it plays perfectly well on both devices at 30 FPS. So your opinions may vary, and that's absolutely fine. So as these tests come to a close, I'll just say, if you like what I do on this channel, please like, share and subscribe. The amount of hours that you've been watching is absolutely phenomenal. I created this channel mainly as an aid memoir for myself, so I could remember what settings I'd set up for each game, so that when I revisited them I could go back to the same settings and have a good experience, and sharing that with other people is proven worthwhile. So thanks for all your likes, your comments. Long may it continue. So here we are, results in for the OneXPlayer. That's again with high performance mode, turbo switched on, 36 FPS. And the SteamDeck's just caught up here, it's doing quite well. I think what we'll do is, while we wait on that finishing, we will come out here and we will just continue the game. And that note is finished. So there you go, on the SteamDeck we have average 42 FPS, and that's just max power setting as well on that. So it's actually really decent, and it's really repeatable as well, which I've found, which is great. So here we are on, I'll try and get a bit closer here, on the OneXPlayer. Difficult to get the screen to work really well, but there we go. And as you can see, this looks good, very playable. The vibration motor is a little bit irritating. They certainly vibrate a bit more on the OneXPlayer. It has separate vibration motors, unlike the SteamDeck, which uses the haptic touch feedback. So it's definitely a bit weaker. Out you get, girl. Yes, she made it. So there you go, that's pretty playable. It's running about 39 FPS there. I think it looks really good on the OneXPlayer, I have to say. A couple of points where I'd say the OneXPlayer wins over the SteamDeck. This is one of them. The bigger screen, the 8.4 inch screen, it's so much easier to view than the 7 inch screen on the SteamDeck. I feel like, you know, I'm at arm's length here for the camera. I can see the screen fine, even at this angle. On the SteamDeck, I kind of feel like I'm holding it right up in front of my face a lot more. That said, both are very playable. Can't go through there just now. I'm a little bit further ahead on the SteamDeck than I am on the OneXPlayer, but as you can see, this is still very playable. It's floating around 40 FPS. Oh, I forgot about that bit again. Sorry, Lara, that's you minced. So, yep, that's running pretty well. We will do the same on the SteamDeck. What I will say is that the thumbstick, the right thumbstick, when you're using the bow, it's really difficult to get a precise aim, and I find using the touchpad is way superior. This could always be tweaked, and there's lots of software settings where you can tweak the sensitivity. However, the touchpad is just really fantastic when it's when you're using the bow. So as you can see, it sweeps up and down very quick, and you've got to move very gently to move slowly. So when you're trying to do a quick position, it's a bit tricky, but this is much more precise with the touchpad, although I do feel like I'm lifting my finger up and down a lot of the time. And here we are sitting at 50 FPS in this point now. 48's dropped down to there, but it's running really well. No idea where I'm going. Like I say, I haven't played this game much, and I think I probably will now. Now that I know it runs so well on both my handhelds, I will probably, I don't know which one I'll actually play it through on first. We'll see, maybe play half it through on one device and half through on another. Oh, that was a bit too far. Oof, that was a lucky grab. Where the heck is she? There she is. Okay, so I think that runs pretty well in there. Just to show what I mean about the bow, you can move your thumb quite a lot more, and it's more gentle movements. I suppose there is a benefit you want to flick quite a big distance. The SteamDeck will have it. The OneXPlayer is great for more precise aiming. Using the stick, obviously you don't have a touchpad, so I suppose it's really your own experience, you know, what you prefer. But I would say, oh, I've done it again, dearie me. I would say, what should you buy? Well, my recommendation would probably still be the SteamDeck, to be honest. It's so much cheaper than the OneXPlayer. Graphically, there's not much in it, and I think it's probably, oh, that was a bit of a silly manoeuvre. And I think from a playability point of view, both devices are fantastic. I like the bigger screen of the OneXPlayer, and I have found recently I've been going back to my OneXPlayer a lot more than my SteamDeck, and that's just based on the type of games I've been playing. I find some games, such as Vampire Survivors, more processing power on the OneXPlayer. It runs better on the OneXPlayer than the SteamDeck. Forza, it plays just as well on both devices, but it looks nicer on the OneXPlayer with a bigger screen, so that makes me go back to that. But I think actually, playing this game, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I might actually gravitate to using the SteamDeck, just because you've got the quick aim to get in the right direction, and then precision with the touchpad. But we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you like what I do, please like, share and subscribe. Catch you in the next video.